What's going on, guys? I'm back with Mr. Nick Coe here from the PX3 One Piece team. He got in the top 16 yesterday on the online regionals. Congratulations, my friend. Placed 15th with Katakuri. And I'm very excited to see this deck. We haven't got one on the channel yet, so let's fire it away, eh?
Cool. Let's start off right here. So we have Pudding, 4 off, it's a staple, hard to not play any, less than 4.
Yep.
There are times that you can whiff if you only see this Pudding, the 2K Pudding and your Shirahoshis, but I didn't whiff a single time yesterday, so that's always a big plus.
Yep.
Right. Next we have Opera, Vanilla's and a bit of a nod to Whitebeard. You have to respect that matchup. It is our worst matchup. Sometimes even on the board it's not doing great, but you know, we just do run it because it's nice. We like to go second.
Yeah.
Good. 4 cost 6k on curve.
And you felt that like running 3 copies of this card was pretty good?
I would cut down, potentially.
Cut down, yeah?
I would cut down, maybe 1. For other cards I want to try moving forward, tweak a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what we get there with.
Yeah, cool.
Next we have the 12 2Ks.
12 2Ks here.
Yes, we play all that there is.
Okay.
I will play more maybe if there are, but maybe not depending on when the next starter that comes out.
Yep.
You rarely play Pudding and Strusen. Sanji you can play if you're going second. It is a form of card draw. There is another card in that's not in this list. Charlotte Daifuku that I'm looking to try. It's the same effect as Sanji, but it's a 4 cost 5k with 1 Dawn instead of 2. It's a bit more Dawn efficient, and I realized not having as much card draw was a bit of a downfall in 1 or 2 of my games yesterday. So I might try that. And you never play Pudding 2k. Strusen you might if you face a Zoro or a Law that you need to get rid of some 1 cost. Very rare, but not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
And now we go to the whole reason you play yellow.
The whole reason why you play yellow, mate.
The triggers.
And might I add that these look mighty fine in alt arts.
Yes, I may not have made the smartest financial decision just before tax, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, so we start off with Charlotte Perospero. 3 cost 5k, Vanilla's deadline. You gotta play from life, and when it dies it replaces itself. Like Charlotte Pudding, you can potentially whiff. You see a lot of Shirahoshis and Sanjis, which you can't find unlike such a Pudding.
Yep.
Next we have Charlotte Cracker, 4 cost 5k, same as Pero. You gotta just trigger it off life. Didn't really get a chance to use the 1 Dawn part of it, and it never came off as my first life yesterday. But having that threat, having a threat on the field from life always feels really good. Next we have Smoothie. So Charlotte Smoothie, if you want to just have a look at the card itself, it does say that when attacking you can sort of draw a life and get 2k, making her a 7k swing. I have never used it. I kind of want to play more of it just because I wanted to be to have more triggers in my deck. Okay. I felt that I wanted to cheese out my opponents by increasing the odds of having a swing, a character that can swing off the first life. They actually having that increased chance won me quite a number of my games because I could put early pressure, and it's a good distraction whilst waiting for my boss monsters to come out. Next we have Charlotte Boulay. I think some lists don't play it, but I found this deck card to be pretty disgusting against some matchups, especially the mirror.
I mean, it's a good trigger with the blocker effect, right? So it can come in clutch at times.
A lot of times. It came in clutch a lot of times.
Yeah.
Having a free blocker of life is basically a free life.
Yeah.
Every time. Some decks have answers for it, but that's fine. A lot of times, if you draw it, there's a 1k counter. Against the mirror, there was a game where I dropped 2 late game and he just could not get game while I had my boss monster swinging for lethal. There are times where I have triggered it on field, and I have used the secret rare Katakuri to put it back in life to protect it from removal, and just reuse it as another form of, as like a double up on life. So it doesn't have to stay on field to get value. The last trigger character we have is Shirahoshi. I have played her once in the event yesterday, because I was bricking really hard, and they actually stopped me from bricking. I drew like 2 boss monsters of it, and that actually let me play back-to-back like boss monsters in the following turn. It's amazing to get it off life. You can just filter your hand so well, and it, like Brûlée, works really well with the second rare Katakuri. I have played a game where I have used all 3 Katakuris on one Shirahoshi and drawn 12 cards. That doesn't seem fair, and it fixed my hand so well, and it's insane. And then worst come worst is it's more often than not a 1k counter. If you have to play it out, I think you're a bit desperate, but it's still a really good card. I tried 4, didn't like seeing too many, so 3 felt a really good number.
Yeah, like you said, it's very good to cycle your hand, your deck, and everything. So just in case if you do kind of clog up there, she's a good little bit of a good scapegoat for that sort of stuff. All right, moving on. We got the event cards here.
Yes. So in the original list, I think a lot of people run 3 and 3.
Yep.
Because they want to cheese out the triggers of life, and that is definitely what I liked as well. But I did notice that a lot of the times, if they're not in my life, they are dead in my head. And you don't really feel that you have time to cast them, especially when you're playing at your boss monsters, your 10 drops, you don't have any dawn to play, anything left over. You do, so Sovereignty, I didn't even cast a single one, I think. It was either discarded for triggers to play characters, or they were in my life.
Okay.
Or I just discarded them with a Shirahoshi trigger. Thunderbolt, however, Thunderbolt is really good because you really only want to see one. When you want to go for lethal, 2k, get rid of a blocker, swing in.
Especially a 5 or less, that's huge.
And you get to play for free.
And for free, yeah.
So it is actually really good. For me, I felt that 3 was too many, and with you have so much card draw with your Prospero, Pudding, as well as Shirahoshi, that you will find that one copy more often than enough.
Yeah.
Especially you really need it in the late game. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're moving on now up to here.
So yes,
Charlotte Linlin.
Yes, this is now we enter like your end game. So everyone,
Big mum stuff.
Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that this deck is all about the luck, all about the triggers. While that's not entirely wrong, I feel that this is a character board centric deck. You're trying to control the board, conserve life, conserve hand, until you hit your big drops. Because you win from your big drops. Like Whitebeard in the past, where you just play 9 cost and then you win. Same idea, just that people have a very skilled impression of what the deck is.
Yep.
So just don't get the wrong idea. Sometimes you high roll, sure, you feel good, but don't feel that it's the only way to win. So Linlin, 7 draws, 8k. Card is really good on curve. Good stats, good against Whitebeard. Stats wise, but a lot of times I feel that they'll take life before I can get use off of this. But it's still really good against most of other matchups. Giving that, sure, your opponent might choose the best choice for them, but it's still never a good choice. Yeah. Next card, we have Charlotte Katakuri. I feel this card is deep. While borrowing the 10 drop, I think this is the best card in the deck.
I mean, this card's good, right? It's a good card.
It's insane. I think the hard part about this card is understanding what to put into life, your card or your opponent's life. But the fact that you have that option, it's so strong. There are a lot of times where I just target my opponent's character, put it at top of life or bottom of life if I don't want to get rid of it. Usually top of life if I have a Charlotte Linden. But if there is a no counter big character, like let's say Teach, that Zoro likes to play, I put it at the bottom of life because there's no counter, and I rather burn a fresh life with 10 cost Linden. The fact that you can just in a pinch put one of your other characters back into life as a heal is actually insane. It's like I said before, I was rebuying Charlotte Brûlées and Shirahoshis feels really strong. And off play, if you really want to, is to put one of these trigger characters that you're looking at right now in life, so you can protect them from actually dying. And you can just replay them, sort of like restanding in the sense where you put it back, and if they swing in your life, you just get to play again, and they can't really kill it without a removal event. and good stats as well.
It makes it
And
really difficult.
yeah, and for the longest time I thought it read 7 costs, and I didn't realize it was 8 costs. So it's even better than I thought. You get a lot of big things with that. And
Huge value.
Yes,
Huge
and last
value.
but not least,
The biggest mum of all.
the biggest mum of all, this card wins games. 10 costs, 12k. Heal 1, burn 1.
It just does everything for you, and
Yes.
you know, you're playing this at good situations. I can imagine it just you win off the bat.
Yes, I mean there are situations where if you're too behind, it's not, you can't really cast this because you're going to still be dead. But the whole deck is sort of designed to just to clear the board, go for board control, and then you finish off with like back to back big mums. And you have so many searches in your deck. Like I said, you have Pudding, you have Paspero, and you have Hiroshi. You're gonna dig and dig and dig for these cards and for this big mum anyway.
Yep.
So you're not gonna feel as though you're lacking. I mean, that being said, I did brick in one of my games, and that caused me to lose a game. So yeah, this is
Wonderful.
the deck that I picked.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So yeah, you've seen it right here, guys. Nick, he got 15th, top 16 in OC regionals. Such a awesome job, my man, and for the team as well. He's such a good player. Excited to see some more stuff in the future, what you're going to come up with. So before we head off, any shout outs?
Just the usual, our sponsors Beyond Odyssey, Eternal Magic,
Yeah.
the whole team, Ethan, Shannon, Casey, Kenneth, and obviously Jimmy behind the camera, always giving us good support. Obviously, if you see my Twitter posts, I do like to shout out Team Super King in Singapore. I'm part of the Patreon. Their articles are really good. Gives me so much insight to the game, insight to this deck as well. Like I read the article and I realized some of the powers of some of the cards and like what I wanted to do. So maybe like this, I like this build for this deck, but the foundations are all there for what the deck wants to do. Make a switch, whatever you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, remember to like and subscribe and to hit that bell to stay notified. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks, Nick.